are these people?
I'm not done with fuck Israel yet. Okay. This is a crazy video and interview that was done with one of the people who was on the global Sumud flotilla. All right. We talked about that and how they were arrested. So I want to play this video. This is the testimony, but I have it in video form and it's easier to just watch the 2 minutes. And we'll read if there's more that context, but check this out.
I saw him coming and then he looked at me. Like I could tell like that he was probably looking for me because he was like looking and then asking people. And then there was one person who pointed at me and then he came around and then he stopped right next to me. And that's when he called me, terrorist and that I will be treated like a terrorist.
And you felt immediately that you needed to talk back.
And I told him that he's, yeah. Because, the Israel, like, and you can tell with everyone there, that they have the sense of arrogance. They really, truly believe that what they're doing is right. They truly believe that there is no genocide. They truly believe that they are not starving children. They truly believe that a baby in a mother's womb is a terrorist. They truly believe all of these things. They are in this bubble of like pure terror. They are surrounded by violence. And the only reason they are surrounded by violence is because they are bringing the violence, I don't think I could be a violent person because I don't feel violence inside of me. Because this is not how I feel when I look at human beings, So you really, really have to hate something so much to believe that the violence that you're bringing is not violence, that it's a righteous thing, that this is what they deserve. So, and when you have someone like that in front of you, I mean, obviously I'm not going to sit down and let him talk to me like that. Not because I'm taking it personal. He can say whatever to me. I'm not taking it personal, but for the Palestinians. To let him know that we see what they're doing and that the Palestinian population is not alone.
That's brave and courageous. So what had happened was this woman is Jewish, European, and was on the flotilla, and Ben-Gvir sought her out. So this is Yasmin Achar. Ben-Gvir came to me very close and said, "You're a terrorist and you will be treated as a terrorist in the coming days." I got up and told him he's a coward. I was like, what the fuck? She said, "Being back is intense. This was my second imprisonment in Israel since June. I didn't rest because the work continues. I've been traveling, doing advocacy, meeting organizations to help liberate Palestine. Since the ceasefire, we're still seeing Palestinians being killed. The flotillas didn't stop when we're detained. The Sumud flotilla took over a month before interception. Technical issues, Tunisia, harsh weather, being bombed in Tunis, then bombed again in international waters. Finally, we were intercepted. 42 boats, 462 activists, violently. They already knew some of us. They approached me, Mandela, Greta, Tiago by name because they had been there before. Near Ashdod, they switch. First nice, then brutal. I'd been handcuffed, called names. Some made sexual comments. They handed us to police, controlled by Ben-Gvir. I was shocked to see him. Getting to the kneeling area was horrific. They dragged me, pushed me down. When I turned my head, I saw security, and then I saw Itamar himself. Shock and disbelief. I told my comrade, "We can't allow this." I started chanting. I'd written "Free Palestine" on my shirt because they don't allow Palestinian symbols. When he came, I sat straight. I showed him the shirt. I chanted "Free Palestine" and called him a baby killer. Everyone started chanting. They told me to be quiet. I said no. I stood. They grabbed my neck, surrounded me, threw me down, beat me. They handcuffed me again and pulled me up by the cuffs. I kept speaking, telling them that they're committing genocide, starving people, killing babies, and that there will be an end to Israel. Can you imagine that? Saying that to them as they're beating you? They dragged me to where there were cameras, pushed me down, smashed my head to the ground, kicked me in the sides. They dragged me into the Ashdod Hall. The women officers are brutal. They beat me again. Tried to take my shirt off, I refused. They put me facing the wall, told me to open up my legs and kept kicking them. They slammed me into the wall, pulled my hair, stripped me naked. I guess they got the shirt off, mocked me, called me names, told me it would be worse this time. They recognized me. I recognized some of them, probably from their fucking awful TikTok dances. Then interrogation, photos, fingerprints, threats. American Jewish citizens were treated differently than Middle Eastern or North African people. Zionism, like she said, is racist. They have a problem with Muslims. Muslim women were forced to remove hijabs. They laughed. They humiliated Muslims. People of color were mistreated. Palestinians, of course, were treated the worst. One officer said to her, "You're German, but you're not German. Your country committed the real genocide." I said, genocide is genocide, and Germany's crimes don't justify theirs. My Adalah lawyer was next to me. Later, Ben-Gvir came again, and he said, quote, "You're a terrorist, and you will be treated as a terrorist in the coming days," unquote. I stood up and told him that he's a coward, that we will hunt him down, that he's a baby killer, and the world won't look away. He called me a terrorist again. I again said, he's a coward, and he rushed out. Because you can be sure that that motherfucker doesn't have anybody talk back to him and treat him with disrespect. Ever. So it must have shocked him to hear someone as a prisoner like that speak to him that way. Good. They believe there's no genocide, like she said. All right. They live in a bubble. They bring the violence. This was the most amazing, remarkable line. I wasn't going to sit and let him speak like that. Palestinians can't talk back to soldiers. It's my duty to speak for them. I used my privilege, being from Europe with a strong passport, to speak for Palestinians. That's amazing. After that, it was interrogation, then deportation. And she reminds us and herself that anything I go through is nothing compared to what the oppressed face. I don't live under bombs. Losing a job shows I'm on the right path. They try to cancel me because truth stays. I'm not the movement. Palestinians are. She says that she'll continue. Global capitalism is why this is happening. Everyone profits from suffering. Amen, sister. When Palestine is free, the work doesn't end. The fight against colonialism and imperialism has to continue because they're not going to rest if they lose. When I was young, I thought I would change the world. Later, I realized maybe I would start with small steps that spark others. My heart burns for justice. I cannot stop. That was awesome. Again, she shames the whole of Israel. Amazingly courageous. Yasmin Achar, German. Support independent media if you can. That's our wall of fame. Those are the people that have actually supported INN with some kind of tip. Patreon monthly support, Substack subscription, Stripe tip, Cash App, Ko-fi. Those are the ways to do it. Cash App, $, Indie News Network. By the way, I saw a talking wombat. You see it top left corner. One of the very first patron supporters hanging out in chat right now on Substack. Thank you so much. Love you. Appreciate you still being around after all this time. Okay. ko-fi.com/Indie News Network. We got paypal.me/Indie News Network. IndieNewsNow.com, where you can watch this show live. You can check out independent news completely free and ad free. And you can also get merch. We got merch there too. And we can also get over at Substack, IndieMediaToday.com and INNNewsletter.com. We got two different Substacks that I support and publish to. See you next Tuesday. So support independent media, like I said. We need it more than ever. I'll see you next week. And I love you all, fam. Have a good night. No! We just fucking lost the stream!
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say?